Oh man, I hope this is going through with the live. Maybe somebody logged in can help. What's up if you're joining? I've only got a few more minutes of my battery, my phone, and my earbuds. Trying to make a connection. Just say, Rick! Hey, Rick! Trying to find Rick. Been out here. I don't know if you remember the live last week, but Rick said he was taking off going down to Costa Rica, maybe to like some retreat to find himself. And of course, we have this Monday call every Monday. We've got me, Rafi, Rick, Fix. We all check in on Monday, kind of set the intentions for the show each week. And Rick is always really good about making sure he's connecting on that call, but Rick was nowhere to be found. And so we connected with the retreat that he was at. I think it's like the Guanacaste Coast. And one of the shamans said Rick just took off in the jungle and they just haven't seen him in a few days. So I hopped on a plane, came down here. Been looking for this dude for like a day and a half now. It's kind of cool. Found this little body of water here because out in the wilderness, you got to be able to survive. But really, this is all about finding Rick. And so if anybody on the live today has any idea if Rick's connect with anybody where he may be, I don't know. But Rick is MIA right now and in Costa Rica. But I'm going to do a quick little live. Maybe show you some baits. I brought some stuff with me. I'll jump into that in a second. But really, if you've got any info of like where Rick is, I don't know how long my battery's going to last. So just maybe shoot. Send an email to Rafi because Rafi's kind of leading up the charge to find Rick. But today, thanks for joining. It's going to be really short, as I mentioned. But maybe we'll go down here. You know, when you're out in the wilderness, I think it's kind of interesting because as people that have been on this planet for thousands of years, we sometimes disconnect ourselves from like the hunter-gatherer, but you get out in the wilderness and it's like this connection to nature, medicine, you know, whether you're like a tournament angler or you're fishing to feed yourself. I think there's something kind of magical about that. No different like right here in Costa Rica, like we've got this beautiful tributary river that ends up out in the ocean, but there's got to be something in here. So like when you're out and you can make sure you're safe, and I don't recommend this to anybody, but I just grabbed this quick bag. In fact, let me show you what I got. I came down with one travel pole. That's really all I had that I could bring, but I got a rod, and then I just grabbed my pouch, and in that, you know, just to make sure you're safe, I've got a pocket knife. I've got a way to start some fire. Here, I don't know if you've ever seen a little fire starter. These are kind of cool. I can start a fire. I can cook some food. And then one of the most important things, you're out fishing, grab yourself a life straw. I mean, this thing's pretty cool. You pop off the cap, you can put it in any water, filters the water real good. I'm not sure exactly, not affiliated with life straw, but you can just bend down and drink as you're fishing. And then of course, just grab the MONSTERBASS bag on my way out. I think this is the December bag. And I'm hoping, Rick says it's all regionally designed in different water columns. It's a fair amount of water, looks like it's coming out of the mountains, but I'm gonna just try and see what bait's in here. A little hair jig might work pretty good. It looks like a kind of a shallow diving crank. I've got a drop shot set up on the rod here first, and it looks like the long shots, the smelt. I mean, something that's kind of a fish color. I'm all about that on the drop shot, so we're just gonna give this, we're gonna hook this thing up right here and just see what we can do to throw this out, wiggle this around in the water, and see if we can maybe catch some kind of dinner. Like I said, we can deal with getting ourselves some shelter. We can cook the fish. I don't even know what's in this water out here in Costa Rica. I'm hoping there's something that likes to eat a smelt colored worm. My rod's all mangled up from hiking through the bushes. Let me untangle this a little bit, but yeah, I mean, Rick, who knows where Rick's at? But, you know, he's pretty safe. He's pretty resilient. I'm sure he's got his MONSTERBASS stuff with him like I do to make sure he's going to be fed and safe. But what the heck, while we're here looking for Rick, I'm just going to do nothing fancy. I'm just going to nose hook this. I'm going to flip this out here a few times. I'm sure if you can even see what's going on where we're fishing. Maybe I'll position this camera. You know, next time I come here, maybe I'll bring me a tripod. Sorry about the craziness, but we'll see if we can throw it out towards the current. Who knows? See if we can find a fish. Well, the bummer of that snag is actually I broke off. The cool part is in this month's bag, there is the full setup for drop shot. So I've got this Daiichi hook. It's a nice size hook. So we're gonna retie this on with our normal little Palomar knot. Slip that through. Get this ready. We've got some drop shot weights as well. So we'll get re-rigged. We'll get this thing back in the water. We'll see if we can find ourselves some food for the day so we can keep this search up looking for Rick, because it's gonna get dark soon, so I'm gonna have to figure out my structure to sleep in. Okay, we got the old drop shot on there, and I'm back at it, and just to keep this thing, just kind of change the profile. I'm gonna wacky hook that, and what I like to do is swim that, and it just does some really weird stuff. If you're wacky rig gets a lot of fish, but wacky drop shot, I have a lot of success with this when I'm just trying to catch anything. And I think that's the whole setup here is, I don't care what we catch, just need to catch some dinner. Really, that's this whole thing. So a bummer there is pretty much every cast with the drop shot is getting snagged up the bottom and just breaking me off. So much debris. I mean, of course, all the rivers down here in Costa Rica with all the rain just get flooded, I'm sure, all the time, and just washing all kinds of debris. So we're gonna go with this bomber, the flat A. It's got a little fish profile, just throw it out there again, swimming it. Not always so much up against the current, kind of diagonal. If there's a small bait fish, if it's wounded, a lot of times they'll be swimming and just floating with the current, so little twitches. I wish I had like a little jerk bait or something, but I think with this thing, kind of do something similar. It's got a little bill on the front. I think this might be a nice little profile to throw out there in the river and get this thing swimming. So we'll get this tied on, a couple casts, see what we can do with this thing. Wobble, just casting across the current like I was saying. That looks primo right there, so we'll cast and let it drift. We'll rip it across here, see if we can find something. All right, we kind of gave up on the fishing, but I think it's time to go and build a shelter. I think that's the wisest thing to do right now. Rick! So if anybody has any info about Rick, like I said, email Rafi, and then I'm sure we'll find this guy. Got a week to figure it out. He'll be back. We'll connect with him, and hopefully the battery, shoot, I don't know. Sounds like somebody's coming. I don't know what's going on. Oh man, you hear that? Those guys? Looks a little road right there. I'm out of here. All right, see you guys. Bye.